As you can see, we did get some of the mozzarella and stuff. Let's see if it actually did what I wanted it to do. Oh, we got some cheese pull. Okay, it pulled. We did it. Okay, that makes me happy. That really was the goal.
Thank you.
Welcome to a brand new episode of The Lab, right here on Slicing, Dicing Gaming Entertainment. I know it's been a while. You haven't heard my voice. You haven't seen me cook in a while. Don't worry, we'll figure that out eventually. So in this episode of The Lab, I'm going to be doing, as you can tell by the title of this video, beer battered mozzarella onion rings. Sound really good, right? So I'm going to show you a lot of the steps. I actually am going to show you the marinara sauce, how I made that, after I do this brief demonstration of how I actually stuffed the onion rings, if you will. So, as you can tell by the cutting board, I've been working, stuff has been happening, but I wanted to show you guys the last one. So it was pretty, it took me a little while to figure out how I was going to do this the best. I actually had to do some R&D work before I actually started recording, so I spent about that last hour and a half kind of figuring this out. So the best way I figured out how to stuff the onion rings is, so you want to make sure you have 2 onion ring pieces, kind of a bigger piece and then a smaller piece that fits inside of it. So what you do is you take the bigger piece and you take your fresh mozzarella. Please use fresh mozzarella. Do not use shredded mozzarella. It's too dry and it won't kind of work the way that you expect. And so what you want to do is you want to take your cheese and you want to try to press it on the inside of the bigger onion ring. Like, press it as best as you can, because every onion ring is different when you cut it. So, you know, because some of the bigger ones toward the outside of the onion, like some of the bigger onion rings are a little bit too loose, so they can be really hard to work with. And some of the inner ones are a little bit too tight, or they kind of have these weird slopes, as you can see. So you try pressing it as much as you can. And you just keep pressing and pressing, and you try and get as much cheese as you can. You might not get a lot of cheese. Also, if anyone has a better way of doing this, please let me know. I'm always open for, you know, ideas and stuff like that. This is the first time I've ever tried something like this, so yeah, it's not it's not a finished product, but this is why we do the lab. The lab is my R&D show. We gotta do some research and some development, so we'll see. So I got pretty well stuffed, as you can see. I can maybe try and get a little bit more in this corner. We'll see if that works. And that might work. And then what you do is you take the smaller piece and you just kind of slide it into the bigger piece. Actually, maybe this is the way. Yeah, there we go. So you kind of slide like that. And this one actually worked out pretty well, because I've had some other onion rings where I would have to cut the smaller ring in to kind of fit it in. There's a couple of different ways I've had to do it, and I didn't actually get as many as I wanted. I want to try to get 14. I only got about 11 or 12. So see, so this is how the onion ring kind of looks. So it looks like a little stuffed onion Oreo with cheese. Please do not make Oreos with cheese and onions. Please don't do that. And don't worry, there's more. The other ones are in the freezer. This is what I want to show you guys for a test. Yeah, so this is our last onion ring. Don't worry, there's a lot more. There's a few more. So I am going to show you guys the batter. I'm going to make the batter. I'm going to bread them. We're going to put them in the freezer at the end. But for right now, let me show you how I made the marinara sauce. So, Taryn, take it away.
I suppose it did sound funny. I used to lie out on the beach, close my eyes, may there be a pretty girl lying on the sand next to me.
right now we got our batter made. We're gonna batter and bread our onion rings. So I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do kind of like, maybe the first wave or so. I want them to stay as cold as possible. I don't want to be out in this heat for too long in the kitchen. So I'm gonna take our first onion ring. As you can see, they've been in the freezer for a little while. We're just gonna put them in the batter. Get off some excess. I'm really happy with how the batter turned out too. We're gonna roll them in our Italian breadcrumbs. We're gonna put them on our sheet tray. And we'll do this for all of them. So hopefully these turn out pretty good. And we're gonna freeze them overnight, 24 hours. I would say until they're frozen, but we're just gonna play it safe. We're just gonna let them stay in the freezer all night. Just so they're nice and frozen. I wanted to make sure my batter was a little bit thicker. I think I got pretty good consistency on my batter. Yeah, I'm just gonna do like this first wave, and then you guys will get a chance to see me fry them when they're frozen, which I can't wait for. I really think freezing them is really gonna help the cheese stick and the onion stick, and just so the batter and stuff. Because hopefully the batter and the breading helps hold the onions and the cheese together. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm banking on. That the batter and the breadcrumbs, the batter would be kind of like the glue, and the breadcrumbs add a nice little crunch. That's what I'm hoping for. It might work, it might not work, but again, this is why we do the lab. This is why you have a test kitchen, so you just try some shit. For everyone that's been fans of the YouTube channel, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the menu. I want to get back into the menu. Hopefully I can get that crab ragoon episode up, relatively soon. But thanks to everyone that's been rocking with me and just being patient. Because, 2020 was a thing, and then life just kind of happened. But I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't forgotten about the menu at all. But yeah, so hopefully we get there for that. And then, of course, with the YouTube channel and the podcast. Thank everybody that's listening to the podcast. I really appreciate that. So hopefully we get a nice variety of content coming real soon. See, I think this is actually one of the onion pieces that actually fell out, which is fine. Because if the cheese stays without the onion being there, that's also a win for me too. So we'll see what happens. My goal is I just want to keep the cheese in. That's really kind of the goal. The goal is for the cheese to stay. If the cheese stays, I'm perfectly fine with losing those little pieces of onion on the inside. I'm perfectly okay with that. That does not bother me at all. And you know what? I'm going to maybe try and pack them in so they almost look like a donut. Some of the onion rings are big enough where the hole will be there, but some of these I'm going to try and see if I can get as much batter as possible. Just to see if it helps maintain, what I want. Because I want them to be cheesy. That's really what I want. I couldn't put a lot of cheese because of, just the space that I had to work with. But hopefully, if they can be cheesy, which is really what I want, I'll be perfectly okay with that. So, we'll see. Also, I might have made a little bit more batter than I needed to, but whatever. I'd rather have enough or have too much and not need it than, need it and don't have enough. So, it'll be fine. It's just batter. Maybe I'll save the batter and do something else with it later this week. Who knows? I'll probably change out the breadcrumbs for my next batch, so I have fresh breadcrumbs. These almost look like hash browns. Or not hash browns, hush puppies. But as long as they do what I want, that's all I care about. And they might. Yeah, see, this one's not sticking on the side at all. I might dip that side back in. No, I'm gonna just do this. I'm just gonna kind of press it and create the crust, hopefully. Oh, nope, it fell off. I'll fix that later. And then this is the last one for this wave. So I'll throw these in the freezer and then do my last wave. There we go. Yep, so I'll get these in the freezer, do the last wave, put them in the freezer for 24 hours, and then we'll freeze them tomorrow. Or we'll freeze them tomorrow. We'll fry them tomorrow. So excited. Alright, so here are my finished beer battered mozzarella onion rings with our homemade marinara sauce. So what did we learn in this episode of The Lab? Do not use tongs. Because as you saw with me frying them, using the tongs, it broke them. I should have known not to use tongs, but again, this is The Lab, R&D, research and development. That comes with research and development. Shit happens. But the second batch actually turned out really, really good. I pulled a few from the first batch, some of the smaller ones, as you can see, and I actually garnished it with a little bit of dried basil. But I do want to crack one of these open really quickly, because crack open one of the smaller ones. And you can see we did get some of the mozzarella and stuff. Let's see if it actually did what I wanted it to do. Oh, we got some cheese pull. Okay, it pulled. We did it. Okay. That makes me happy. That really was the goal, was to try to get some crunch. We got some cheese pullage. I got crumbs all over the table, but whatever. But yeah, so mission accomplished. Just don't use tongs. And maybe use wax paper to dry them off the oil. To dry off the oil when you take them off the fryer. Don't use paper towel, maybe use wax paper. But yeah, but we got what we wanted. So maybe double battering them could give them a better layer. Maybe freeze them also a little bit longer. I did freeze them for overnight, so about 12-15 hours. But also we gotta try it with the dip. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, mission success. It did work. There's some things technically I do need to work on, but there is enough cheese in the onion rings so we get a nice good cheese pull, which was the main goal. So I would say this episode of The Lab is a success. Thank you so much to anyone that watched this episode, to everyone that watches it. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully I get more food videos out in the near future. All in forever, slicing, dicing, gaming. Not just the motto, lifestyle. See you next video. Later. That's really good.